I'll just have a little run through how I first got involved with the club. The family home at Bolabeg in Braddon was just up the hill from where the creamery is now, and the family home was where we all grew up, and the family members, Dad, Uncle Lawrence, who lived at the same place at the same time, and Auntie Lily, they were all involved with the club at that time. My dad and Lawrence were on the committee, and Lily was actually secretary for a number of years. In the late 50s is what I'm talking about, so 1958, 59, I used to go down to watch the games, and we used to go down with our cousins, Philip and Neil Arden. And we used to obviously kick a ball around. It was all part of being a Braddon person. And then ultimately, I wanted to play for Braddon, and I registered for the teams as in January 1964, which is a hell of a long time ago. I used to go to the games once I was old enough and registered, and I used to carry the boots with me because I wasn't selected in the first place. But you go down in the hope that you might actually get a game, and sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't. I was also picked to play a game in the Carl Cup, which is the under-18s, because unlike the lads of today, where they've got the junior leagues and you come through the junior leagues into your seniors, at that time there was nothing like that. It was just simply senior football, and included with that would be the Cal Cup. That was the only exception. And there was one game that I was selected to play in, and the team won 23-0 against St John's. And I was the only outfield player that didn't score. Oh hell, no, I never was the striker. I started to get more games in the combination sides, and was it around about April 1968, I made my first team debut. I played a couple of games that season, and then the following year I was a regular. So in the first team, playing with the likes of Mac and Barry Shire, Richard Wilde, I see here, Keith Mean, people like that, you know. Great times. In the summer of '68, we actually had, the club decided, I think there was an advert placed in the local papers, and the club approached the chap, and it was a chap called Will Sutton, and they appointed him as the club's first manager. Before then, it had been down to the captains, I guess, to do the team talks and everything that goes with it. It was actually a real revolution to have Wilf. It was a fantastic time to be a Braddon person, a Braddon player. It encouraged a lot of people into the club, some better than others. But he got a structure to the side, organised defensively, hard to beat. And in that first season that Wilf was there, the team finished fourth in the league, which was unheard of in those days. And then the following season, they actually finished third. But all good things come to an end, and after, I think, a bit of a falling out with some of the senior players, maybe getting accused of favouritism to certain players. I don't know the full story, but Wilf moved on. The player highlights for me were in the combination and junior cup of 1969-70, when Barry Shire was our captain, and we did the double that year. And then the big highlight again was in 73-4, when the club was the Division 2 champions under Malcolm as our I don't think you were called manager at that time, Malcolm. Was it captain, coach?
Goalkeeper.
Yeah, goalkeeper, captain, coach.
Yeah, that's about it.
So that was a highlight. And in the 75-6, we actually beat the mighty Peel. We came back from, I think it was 3-2 down, and we came back and won the game 4-3. Certain goal scorers are on the table here. Mr. McLaren and Keith Cameen scored in that game. That was a fantastic game. I believe I played quite well myself, playing centre half, which was unheard of. Left or right back, but centre half, I don't know. But I think I did all right against the Ireland striker, Keith McLaren. But hey ho. Just moving very quickly on, I know you're keen to get shut with me, but Clips's Laundry, where we played at that time, had given the notice in the early 1970s that the lease would be terminated. So that was likely to then involve a lot of work for the club. And at 1979-80, during that season and towards the end of that season, a young side sort of fell apart a little bit. Our chairman at the time stood down, and I was asked to take on chairman. So that was in 1980, and I remained on the committee. I think to this day, Dave Griffiths will correct me somewhere. I might have had 1 year out of the committee, Dave?
No, I don't think so.
No. So I was chairman for a number of years. Tam was good enough to take the reins as chairman for 8 or 9 years, or whatever it was, Tam. But then I became secretary when David moved on. The 1980s onwards was a period where because we knew that the end was coming, playing down at Clips's Laundry Field. It was a lot of work for us. We had to start thinking in terms of a new ground. The Sports Council was very helpful. We had to, of course, raise a lot of money to do the necessary works on the pitches. And I don't think I want to say too much more than that, because it's occupied a long number of years before we've actually managed to get where we are now, which is the pitch at Victoria Road there. And 1995 was the first time we officially played back there, whereas the first game that we'd actually played on that pitch, the drainage wasn't up to it, and we'd spent a lot of time, a lot of money on the pitch, and it's just set us back years. I won't say any more than that. We got there. It took a long time. We had a lot of money to raise, but we did get there eventually. And you can't do any more than that. What I'd like to do now is a few thank yous from the Football Association. A gentleman that was a Radden player for a little while, and then represented the club on the football executive as our rep, and then we had the misfortune to lose him to the wider. Tony Jones, he served as vice president, and then became the president of the Football Association, and held that post for 26 years. So I'd just like to record our vote of thanks for your services to football in general, being a Bradman man that has achieved that. Yeah. Well done, Tony. Just behind one Tony is another Tony, Tony Mepham, who's the current president of the Football Association. So we welcome you here tonight, Tony, to enjoy the evening, hopefully. Tony puts a hell of a lot of work into football, and you've got to admire maybe he's like-minded, like me, but it's a fantastic record that you've got, Tony. Vice President of the Football Association for a long time, President of the Association currently. It's an incredible credit to you and what you've achieved in your footballing days. Long may it continue. So Tony Metton's right is another stalwart of football on the Isle of Man, referee in his younger days, referee's appointments, the Referee Society, served a number of years on that, joined the Football Association, I don't know the correct, was Football Services Officer, was that right? How many years ago was that, Kevin?
It feels like 50, but...
Yeah, so Kevin Maitland, who, as I say, got that record already, and then became the Chief Operating Officer of the Football Association here on the island, and is now taking retirement. His tenure comes to a close in June this year, I believe. Is that's good? Yeah. So welcome to tonight, Kevin, and good luck with your retirement. I'm sure you'll find plenty to do. Our media representative tonight is Paul Hatton, well known in football circles, and I believe from your Facebook page or website that you've been a football reporter since 2003?
That's officially, yes.
Yeah.
20 years, yes.
I mean, I thought you were a big bushing man, and it would have been a bit of a wrench to come away from there. I'm always amazed when Hattie's up at our games, and he's got the video going, and he's got ducking and diving, and it's amazing the record that he's got. And he's covered a lot of Braddon games, and we love seeing you there, Hattie, because we don't actually have them on sort of the filming going on, but hopefully we'll get there at some stage. So, welcome to tonight, Hattie. The great the service you give to football, and Braddon in particular, for as far as we're concerned. When I retired from government work, but no, what was that, 2009, one of my projects was to go down to the museum and get the history of Braddon, and get all the goal scorers and results and all of that. Yeah, and that was fine for a few years. I was cracking on and getting that all together, and I had in mind that I was going to write this book because other clubs had done it. And I thought, oh, this must be easy. Oh, it's not. It's 2016, and I still haven't got past the first couple of lines. I thought, oh. And fortunately for me, I must have been told to Dave Griffiths at some point. And it doesn't warrant a pause. Hang on. We got chatting, and Dave, we were also like-minded. We'd be eager to get involved in that way. I don't know whether it was around about 2016 or was later. So my research carried on, and then started to dwindle a bit once I knew Dave was interested in doing something like that. So I just stood back then, and then having seen and being contributed to the work that he'd been doing recently by verifying who's on the photographs and what have you. I just gobsmacked because and to the extent, well, it started with the 3 articles that he did for the newspapers at the back end of last year, which was fantastic on their own. But there's a current booklet which is now going to be on the sale for £15 each. Excellent read for anybody who's got the slightest bit of interest in Braddon. and they're now on. So I want to show my thanks today for his contribution and bailing me out. Thank you, Dave. What a good job you've done. Thank you, and I'll move on and let somebody else have a go.
Thank you, Dave. That's great. Appreciate that. Those books Dave just mentioned that Mr. Griffiths has collated are on sale tonight, £15. We've got them here, so if anybody would like some, or any of them, just give us a shout and we can sort that out. I'd just like to hand over now to Malcolm, who's going to do the next part of the memories. Malcolm.